Title. No one title. No one could handle the millionaire's twin daughters, until a single mom janitor did the impossible. The shrill sound of breaking glass echoed through the grand marble hallway of the Whitmore mansion. A terrified maid stumbled backward as two 10-year-old girls, identical, fierce, and untamed, laughed like mischievous queens who ruled over chaos. They were the Whitmore twins, Lila and Claire, the daughters of the reclusive millionaire, Victor Whitmore. Since their mother's death 3 years ago, no nanny, teacher, or caretaker had lasted more than a week. The mansion had become a revolving door of frightened employees, each fleeing with the same haunted look in their eyes. That morning, as the staff whispered about the twins' latest tantrum, a woman in a worn janitor's uniform quietly entered through the side gate. Her name was Maria Dawson, 32, a single mother who had been struggling to keep her life together ever since her husband walked out when their son was 2. Maria had no luxury, no time for dreams, only long shifts, late nights, and a small boy who needed her love more than anything. She was hired not to care for the twins, but simply to clean. No one warned her that her life was about to change forever. Maria's first encounter with the Whitmore twins was anything but ordinary. She found them in the library, standing on the furniture, scissors in hand, shredding the pages of a priceless antique book. "Girls," she called out without thinking, her voice carrying the firm tone of a mother who'd seen enough mischief to last a lifetime. The twins froze, shocked that someone had dared to shout at them. Most adults trembled before them. Maria didn't even flinch. "You're going to ruin something beautiful," she said calmly, walking forward. "That book's older than your grandfather. If you're angry, tearing it apart won't help." Lila glared at her. "Who are you to tell us what to do?" Maria set down her mop and looked them in the eye. "Someone who knows what it's like to lose something precious, and regret it." The girls didn't reply. For the first time in months, someone had spoken to them not as brats to be feared, but as children who needed understanding. Days turned into weeks, and Maria's quiet resilience began to make ripples in the household. She didn't try to control the twins with rules or threats, she listened. When they threw tantrums, she didn't yell, she asked why. When they pushed her limits, she pushed back with patience, not punishment. One rainy afternoon, she found Lila crying under the grand piano. The girl tried to hide it, but Maria knelt beside her. "Missing someone?" she asked softly. Lila sniffled. "Mom, she used to play this piano every night." Maria's heart ached. "My son asks about his dad sometimes," she said. "But I tell him, some people leave, but love doesn't." That moment broke a barrier. From then on, the girls began following her around, asking questions, even helping with chores. Maria didn't realize it yet, but she had done what no one else could. She had reached their hearts. Victor Whitmore, the girl's father, noticed the change too. The mansion felt calmer. Laughter echoed in halls that had long been silent. For the first time in years, his daughters smiled genuinely. He couldn't understand why until he saw it with his own eyes. Maria sitting on the floor of the study, teaching the twins how to fold paper cranes. He approached her later, hesitant. "I don't know what you've done," he said, "but they're different. Happier." Maria smiled. "They just needed to be seen, Mr. Whitmore, not managed." Victor was a man who had built empires but couldn't fix his own family. Her words hit him harder than he expected. But every light faces its shadow. One evening, a visiting guest, a wealthy investor, saw Maria playing with the twins and made a cruel remark. "You're letting your daughters get attached to the help. She's a janitor, Victor, not a governess." The words stung. For a moment, Victor hesitated. He feared scandal, gossip, what the world might think. The next morning, Maria found a notice on her locker, "Position terminated." Effective immediately. The twins' screams echoed through the mansion when they found out. "You can't send her away," Claire shouted, tears streaming down her face. But it was too late. Maria left quietly, clutching her small son's hand, her heart heavy. Weeks passed, and the Whitmore mansion grew cold again. The twins stopped smiling, stopped talking. Victor watched helplessly as they retreated into silence. One night, he found them asleep in the janitor's closet, Maria's old workspace, holding one of her hair ties as if it were a treasure. Something inside him broke. The next morning, he drove across town to the small apartment complex where Maria lived. She was cleaning the hallway floors when he found her. "Maria," he said quietly, "I made a mistake. I let pride get in the way of gratitude. Please, come back. Not as staff, as family." She froze, tears welling up in her eyes. "Family," he nodded. "You didn't just care for my daughters, you saved them." Maria returned to the mansion that day, but everything was different. She was no longer just the janitor, she was their light. She resumed her quiet, caring ways, helping Victor reconnect with his daughters. Under her influence, the family began to heal. The twins learned discipline through love, Victor learned fatherhood through humility, and Maria learned that strength wasn't about wealth or titles, it was about heart. Months later, at a small charity event hosted at the Whitmore estate, the twins stood proudly beside Maria as they announced the opening of a foundation for children who had lost parents, the Grace Project, named after their late mother. Victor, watching from the crowd, felt tears in his eyes. For the first time, his family wasn't broken, it was whole. Years later, Maria would look back and realize that life's hardest roads often lead to the most unexpected blessings. She had entered that mansion with a mop and a bucket, just trying to survive, but she left her mark on hearts that money could never buy. And so, the story of the millionaire's daughters and the single mom janitor became a story of love, courage, and the quiet power of compassion, a reminder that sometimes, the greatest miracles happen when someone dares to simply care. Would you like me to write 10 hyper-realistic image prompts capturing emotional moments from this story like the one you asked for your previous story? They'd be perfect for visual storytelling in a YouTube video.